I guess this is the last phone call I'll be making. No one else believes me, so I wanted to tell you the real story before they hang me. I don't have long, so just let me finish. It all began a few months ago. It was just another ordinary day at work when she walked in. She was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. Words could not describe her.
I need your help.
My name's Max Monroe. What can I do for you?
I'm Noir Valentine. Look, I don't usually do this kind of thing. I mean, I like to solve my problems on my own, but I haven't got a choice. I arrived home yesterday and found my grandmother's necklace had been stolen, and I need you to get it back.
Ma'am, that isn't normally my line of work. Have you tried going to the police?
I don't like the police. Besides, I've heard I can trust you.
Normally, a robbery case is pretty dull. I'd dig around for a couple of weeks. If nothing came up, I'd call it quits. But this was different. There was something about Nola. I was drawn to her. If only I hadn't said yes. It was the biggest mistake of my life. Whenever I wasn't working, trying to hunt down the necklace, I was spending my time with her. I just couldn't keep away. Before long, I was seeing her every day. The case, however, was going nowhere. Whoever had stolen that necklace had done a damn good job of it. It was untraceable. But as much as I tried to ignore it, I knew there was a large part of me that didn't want to find the necklace at all. Finding the necklace meant losing Nola, and the more time I spent with her, the more I realized I would do anything to stop that from happening. I was constantly learning new things about her. She had so many talents and charms.
Tout s'est passé comme prévu. Oui, d'accord. À bientôt. Max!
I didn't know you spoke French.
Yeah, no, I spent some wonderful summers there actually when I was younger. It's true what they say, Paris really is the most beautiful city in the world. I'd love to go back.
Well, that settles it then. When I find that necklace, we'll go there to celebrate.
Oh, Max!
I soon learned of her love for the countryside. We would often go there on the weekend. I was lost in its beauty, and hers. But as happy as I was, I sometimes got the impression that something was bothering her. I could see it in her eyes. Every now and then, I would catch a glimpse of her troubles.
Max, you make me so happy. You know how much I care about you, don't you? There's something I have to tell you.
Nola, what is it? What's on your mind? You know you can tell me anything.
Max, I'm sure you've noticed how hesitant I am to talk about my childhood. I mean, I've got a lot of painful memories.
What is it? You can tell me. We can tell each other anything.
When I was 9, my father died, Spanish influenza. I mean, I was devastated, but my mother quickly remarried. My stepfather, I was just a little girl, and whenever my mother wasn't in the room, I was just a little girl.
We drove home in silence that night. I later managed to get the details out of her. Her stepfather had abused her as a girl, and now she feared he would do it again, this time to her niece. No matter how happy her life was, she could not escape the thought of him, the constant fear of what he might do next. It was beginning to consume her. I did a lot of thinking between the next time we saw each other. I was so angry at that man for hurting Nola. She had said there was no way of stopping him, but I knew of one. Look, Nola.
Max, I've been doing some thinking.
No, it's me that's been doing the thinking. And if
Look, we have to kill him, okay? There's just no other way. I can't take it any longer.
She took the words right out of my mouth. I guess I was glad in a way. I wasn't the one suggesting the terrible deed. I'd always considered myself a man of high morals. I'd held the belief that it was unforgivable to take another man's life. But as I held her in my arms, I felt there was nothing more natural for me to do than protect her. The search for that necklace of hers was put on hold. In fact, all of my work was. My one focus was on keeping Nola safe. I stayed up late into the night, researching, planning the disposal of that wretched man. We had to be careful from now on. Our meetings had to be in secret, and they had to be few. It almost killed me not being able to see her all of the time.
Everything you need to know is in here. We are doing the right thing. He's a monster.
At last it was time. The plan was set in stone and I must have rehearsed it a dozen times. That afternoon, I waited for Nola's stepfather to finish work. I drove and drove for what seemed like hours until I reached the destination. The place we knew no one would ever look. Our secluded hideaway in the countryside. Later that night, we met up.
Oh, Max! I can't thank you enough for what you've done. But this is going to be the last time that we see each other.
Noir, there's something I have to tell you.
That I love you, Max. I never did. Do you hear that? It's the sound of the police coming to arrest you.
Nola, I think you're mistaken.
Max, I don't expect you to understand. What we had, it wasn't real. I was acting.
Oh, Nola.
As painful as it is to hear that, it makes it so much easier to tell you this. The police aren't coming for me. They're coming for you.
Once I managed to get the body down to the banks of the river, by chance I noticed something had fallen out of his pocket. To my horror, it was a police officer's badge.
So you see, I didn't kill him. The police, my dear, are coming for you.
You really just don't get it, do you? Had a feeling something like this would happen. I mean, come on, Max. It wasn't that I doubted your devotion to me, but there was always a chance something could go wrong. So I followed you into the country tonight.
Excuse me, sir. She framed me. I don't care if you believe me or not, but you should know this. If you think life's too good to be true, then it probably is. This world is a cruel place. You can't trust anybody, and if you think you can, you're just fooling yourself.